Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Hey, guess what?
Okay, what?
Two things. One, apparently this is in relation to when I poured water over on the lava that under Cone's bridge when I was getting something from over there.
Oh, was there like lava?
Yeah, and I remember
here?
we made a comment about it. I was like, "Oh, there's just lava down here. I just need to pour some water to get through it." And I think we joked about how nobody was like preserving lava, and that's why it's from the Lava Preservation Society. I don't remember exactly what we were doing.
Wait, it's back though.
He probably preserved it again.
So is this like a feature?
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I would consider it a bug, but I guess this company considers it a feature.
Okay. So if we poured water on it, he'd be upset.
The Lava Preservation Society would be upset.
What if we just take all the lava and preserve it in buckets?
It'd be interesting. Hey, watch this.
You know what? I kind of want to do that.
Hey, watch this thing, though.
Oh, did you make this thing work?
I mean, yes, but I use, videos to do so. Apparently, this works.
Wait, but aren't you just placing it and it's popping them off?
It's popping them off, but it's actually duping them. Not every time, but I've gotten up to a couple stacks.
Really?
But it
so
doesn't
what's
do
cool about this
rail.
is Breon made a thing for us already.
Oh, did he?
Apparently. So that's what I was going to say at the start of this. Breon asked me if he could record with us on Tuesday, and I said sure. And then I forgot you were gone.
You could have had full episodes without me.
Well, that would be just weird at this point. I mean, it's not like I would. No one would ever see them.
It'd be Guan.
Guan. Yeah. So he wanted to show us what he did, which the world has gone for me very strangely because part of it's there. But I guess he made a rail system up, and he also set up stuff to auto sort.
Oh, well, what the hell? He did all the things that I was talking about.
Yeah,
not
he
really.
just stole your content.
I wasn't really gonna do it all, but I was gonna make it at least so it came up here and just dumped it into some chat.
Yeah, he said like halfway down it'll come up on its own or something. Oh yeah, look at this. This is something. Ow.
Like a skeleton? Is that what you mean by something?
Well, there is a skeleton. I think my pants just broke. They did. He killed my pants. But no, there's some hoppers here.
Oh, damn. That's a lot of hoppers. So it must just dump them all into these hoppers, and then they go, oh yeah, he definitely made a huge sorting system over here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of
iron. So what I'm gonna do is wish that the world would load. I'm gonna make a bunch of buckets, and I'm gonna preserve that lava into buckets.
Okay. I mean, you might not be able to find any iron based on those hoppers, but
there was a whole bunch in our chest.
I mean, I guess I can help with that.
Okay.
So
here it is.
You were about to say something at the beginning, but was it about what Breon made?
It was that. It was that Breon had done the thing.
That's
yeah.
Interesting. So do you want to hear the story surrounding
your tweet?
My tweet?
Yeah.
So clearly you know the end result and all, but I will tell you. So I went out of DCA, which is the DC airport, and I'm flying out of gate 43 originally. So I have to go. It's in Terminal C. There's no direct way from Terminal C to any other terminal. But there are some internal shuttles that you can take, but you have to go out one gate, grab a shuttle, and like go somewhere else. So, but they're separated by security checkpoint. If you don't use the shuttles, which are not necessarily like the quickest and fastest way. So I get to the airport early because I always like to get to the airport early because I would rather not miss my flight. And I get there super early to make sure that I have time. It's kind of important that I get to where I'm going on time. For what it was for. I was flying in the night before, going and defending my DNP project.
It's like you're going to war or something.
Yeah, I had to go. If I didn't go defend it, I would not get a degree. Like that's.
So what? Describe what you're saying right now.
So
in
DNP
different words.
It's my doctoral degree that I'm taking. I have to do a final project, and after your final project is done, you go and you present it to the committee, and you basically, they question you on it, and you essentially have to defend it. It's actually not as rigorous as like a lot of people talk about defending their dissertations when they write these massive research papers. It's not quite that intense, but for this particular program, but it's still, you're there to present and defend, and they decide if you.
The word defense makes it sound, I don't know, man. It doesn't sound right.
You're basically defending the fact that you did it appropriately. That you.
And did they question you in a way that makes it sound like you didn't?
No, they question you on some of your I think they might question you if they thought you didn't. If they thought you didn't for some reason. If you presented something and it just didn't seem right, like if it was off. Mine was actually pretty easy because mine was pretty thorough and exclusive. I'll tell you a couple things about that too, which is very strange. But in regards to just the getting there part, so. And a question that you had asked me beforehand, I have, the priority pass, which gives me access to certain lounges.
Right.
Not many places have the lounges that I'm going. I've only been able to successfully use the lounge once. However, they've expanded now because I think they realized that some of the customers were getting a little bit upset that, they have this perk that they've basically never been able to use because it's at such, that's not good, dude.
No, that's real bad, man.
Skeleton is stealing your stuff. I'm trying to get him away.
Don't let him die in the
I'm trying to get him. Oh, I got caught. I'm stuck. I was trying to guide him away from. I lost
this place of cone dodgers. This lava needs to be better preserved.
Where the hell did he go?
He's over here.
He needs to walk away from.
Ow! Ow! Jesus fucking Christ! He hit me for 7 hearts.
He's got your freaking sword.
Yeah, he hit me with it real hard.
I need him to get away from where?
He's over here now. He's way over here.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
I'm coming. Jeff. Oh God, he's chasing you.
Yeah, no, Jeff.
I don't even have a sword. I just say he's fast. Okay, he did. Got that stuff, and we gotta hope your elytra didn't go up in.
Yeah. Because I only have one. I ain't got 2 like you. There was a creeper over there to the right of us.
Your elytra's good.
See that creeper?
Yeah, I'll get him. So we get to, they don't have a lounge, but they've now expanded.
I am on a
They have certain partner restaurants that give you like just money off of your bill. And the first thing I asked the lady when I went into one of these restaurants that was in this terminal, and I said, how does this work? Is it off of just food? Does it include alcohol? And she's like, it's off of anything. It's just literally $28 off of your bill.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, phenomenal. But when you're talking about airport prices, it was. I got something to eat and 2 beers, and I paid like $4.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So that was cool. So I got there, had a couple beers, ate. Look at my watch, and it's 30 minutes.
God, I can't hear the word beers anymore. Fucking Kavanaugh ruined it for me. Every time you say beers, I'm like, you like beers?
I like beer. Do you like beer? I like beer.
Fuck's sakes.
So I look, it's about 30 minutes before my flight's taken off. So I'm like, okay, let me get, make sure I get my bill paid, get over here to the gate that I'm like, basically I can almost see it from the restaurant, but not quite. And I walk over to the gate and nothing's boarding. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, there's not even a plane here. So I look back at my boarding pass.
There's not even a plane here.
Well, I have a mobile boarding pass. So I look at the mobile boarding pass, and it's now changed to gate 44. And I'm like, oh, okay, 44. It's, just evens are on one side, odds are on the other. Let me just walk over to gate 44. And, like,
it wasn't 44 the same letter, there was it?
Well, there's no letter designations on these. So I walk over to 44, and there's a plane that's boarding. And I start to get in line for it, and I look at the thing, and I'm like, it's going to like Northwest Kansas or something. I was like, Northwest Kansas? So I'm like looking at my ticket again. I'm like 44. So I'm like, let me go find one of these boards and find out what's going on. And I look at the board. It's now boarding out of gate 29.
So like a long fucking ways away.
Different terminal. That is now accessible from the terminal that I'm in.
Oh, so you had to go through like multiple. Did you get on a tram and go multiple?
So I went and found the shuttle, and I went and ran and jumped on the shuttle. And then I sat on the shuttle for 10 fucking minutes. And I kept staring at the guy and going, when are we going to leave? And he's like, oh, I'm about to get out of here any minute now. And then some dude walks in the door.
Wait, this shuttle was like controlled by a person?
Yeah. It's a shuttle that's controlled by a person. It's just a bus. It's a bus.
Oh, okay.
I can see.
Oh, I've been on one of those before, and it's awful.
Yeah, I can see where the bus is supposed to take me to. It's only like 100 feet away, but you're not allowed to walk it. So then somebody else jumps on, and they're like, oh, have you had your break yet? Somebody told me to come relieve you for your break. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Jesus.
Like, what's going on? So finally the guy's like, okay, we're getting out of here, sir. Just don't worry about it. You'll be fine. He doesn't even know anything about my situation. He's just telling me
You'll be fine. Everything's going to work out just all right for you, sir.
It parks. I run, like, off the bus. I think people thought I was insane. But it was, like, 12 minutes before the time the plane was supposed to leave at this point.
Yeah.
And I go running up to the gate, and all I see is a shut door. And the sign behind it says boarding closed.
So how did you get on?
And so it's funny because as I'm walking up to the gate, I'm like kind of frantic, like you're shuffling like my way up there. And I just looked at the lady and I said, is the sign accurate? And as I said that, I had a water bottle that was in the side of my backpack and it fell out of my backpack. And the lady goes, sir, you dropped your water. And I was like, I understand. I need to know if the boarding has really closed and I can't get on this plane. And she's like, sir, your water.
Jesus.
Like, pointing at it. And I was like, okay. And I bent over and I picked it up and I said, is that accurate? Can I not get on this plane anymore? And she goes, hold on, let me ask him. And she starts to
now that the water is safe.
She starts to pick up the little PA microphone thing, and then she just opens the door and says, come with me. And I'm walking through, and she goes, what seat are you? And I was like, 12A. And she's like, oh, what was your name? And I told her. She's like, yeah, I think we've been calling you, I think. Couldn't find you. I said, I was in the other terminal where this plane was originally scheduled to leave from. And because you didn't, tell anybody that it changed, or you obviously told other people because there's other people on it.
You told somebody. Those people made it.
And she's like, oh, you're over in the other terminal? Yeah, they've been calling you for a while. And so we walk up toward the plane, and the door is still open. And she's like, hold on, I gotta see if they'll let you on the plane. And she asked the other flight attendant that's right there, and she's like, can he still get on? And luckily, the lady was just like, oh yeah, come on. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. Nobody looked at my boarding pass. Nobody scanned my ticket.
Really?
I got onto a closed plane.
I mean, the plane wasn't closed, right? Just the gate was closed.
I did tell them what my name was, so they knew they'd been calling me, I'm sure. So that's maybe part of it. But
if they'd been calling you, anyone could have heard the call and be like, hey, I'm Jeff.
Well, and that's what I find a huge problem with airports is, for one, when you're in any of the restaurants, you can't hear a damn word that's being said, like on the overhead. And a lot of times they call you from just the little stand right in front of that gate, and it doesn't permeate outside of that gate.
Right.
So I always hate when they overhead call things because you never know, like, if you're actually going to be in earshot of it. But yeah, I somehow got on this plane and was able to fly over to where I needed to go. And I would tell you, it was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever had when I'm at an airport early to realize they've changed everything and then sitting on a shuttle that's not moving. And I'm just going, what the fuck is going on here? And to walk up to a closed gate, I thought there was absolutely no way I was getting there. I was contemplating, like, do I have time to drive to Alabama at this point? Because I literally flew in at night, and I had my presentation was at 9 o'clock in the morning.
So the planes wasn't actually closed, just the gate, like
the gate
in the terminal.
to get to the plane was closed. Yeah, when we walked up.
Because I've heard that once they close the plane, they're not allowed to reopen.
And I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I was able to get on is because that was still open. So they probably have some sensor that showed that they hadn't shut the plane door yet, and that's why she was able to like walk me down the jetway.
It's a good thing she did that before doing anything else, basically.
Oh God, I couldn't believe it, and that's why it was like it's so frustrating because I don't know how to complain about it. And I kept looking at my mobile boarding pass, which had updated from gate 43 to gate 44, but still just said gate 44 forever and always after that. And I don't know, like, how do you take that up with the airline to even say, like, look, you have a problem with your app if you're not going to update it and let people know when things changed. And today's day and age,
right.
this is what people are relying on.
Yeah. I mean, everyone pretty much uses the app. So, like, yeah.
Preserved.
Nice. It's a good thing. Good thing.
Yeah. So that was very, very nerve-wracking, but I did make it, and it was fine. And on the way home, the Huntsville Airport in Huntsville, Alabama, is only one terminal. So I was
gonna say that place is fucking tiny.
It is. It was like 12 gates total.
It was every time I've been in there, there's no other like people. It's just like walking through these empty hallways.
Yeah,
and shit.
It's one long hallway, and if I stood, like, there was people at one gate, like for a plane that was boarding right when I got there, and then pretty much after that, like, if you just stood at one part of the hallway, because I just walked, I sat down and had something to eat, and then I got bored sitting there, so I walked around. Because I didn't have, in Alabama, there's not much to do on the campus, so I ended up getting to the airport like 3.5 hours early because I had nothing else to physically do. And I was like, I'll just go to the airport, get some food, and sit around. So I ended up walking around for the last like hour, just going back and forth through the terminal. And like once I would turn around and look down, I saw like 4 people like on the way down. It was kind of entertaining. I will tell you, on the way back, I was watching a movie. I was watching Deadpool 2 on the plane on the way back, and it was only an hour and a half flight, so you only really get about, you know, an hour or so of when they actually have, you know, the movies and stuff available. And so I only watched about half of the movie, but as I'm getting really into it, and it's really, I don't know if you've seen the movie or not, but really,
I haven't yet. No.
Very fun movie. Lots of action scenes, of course, like you would expect from this. And there's this one scene that just shit is exploding and things are crashing into each other. And I'm watching it and I'm like really into it. And I just out of nowhere, I was like, boom! I was paying zero attention and the plane landed in the middle of like one of these crash scenes. So, and it was a pretty relatively hard landing. Like, it wasn't the smoothest landing in the world. I mean, I literally jumped because I was like, what the fuck just happened? I thought the wing had ripped off the plane or something. No, but it's just the fact that we had landed.
That's really good.
So that was my fun, exciting couple days.
I really didn't know that you had to, I don't know, the way you describe it, you have to go defend this thing in person.
I mean,
can't they do this over like a fucking Skype call or something? Well, some kind of call?
So here's another problem I have with this. There was zero direction on what your presentation was supposed to be. They just said you had to present it. They didn't give you guidance on what your presentation was supposed to be. Absolutely zero guidance on how long it should have been, how long you were presenting for. And all I know is that I have to go there and defend it, so I set up my time, and it was 9 o'clock on this day, and I had to be in Alabama to do this. So I'm there, and 5 minutes before we start, so it's like, you know, 9 o'clock defending time, or presentation time, 8:50.
Defending time.
Defending time. 8:55. And they're all in the room talking to me, and they're like, oh, you know, it's all good, you know, just trying to be all casual, you know, about it and everything. They don't want to, like, make people nervous. And she was like, so, you know, your faculty advisor, or your clinical advisor at your hospital, how is she going to be joining us today? Is she going to be calling in? And I was like, excuse me?
Excuse me?
And she was like, yeah, how is she participating today? I'm assuming she's going to call in. And I was like, she's unfortunately unable to join today due to other work obligations that she's always does off-site teaching on Wednesdays, which it is actually true, but it caught me off guard because I never even invited her.
Right.
Because there was no guidance.
The thing is, if she can do that, why can't you?
Well, and I guess in theory you can if you make the arrangements, but I was told I'm supposed to be there, so I was going to be there. And so I'm like thinking, for this, it's a presentation day. There's different presentations scheduled on the hour, like for the full day, and I was the first one. I'm thinking, for one, you gave zero guidance on what this presentation is supposed to be, how long it's supposed to be, let alone to tell me that there's a call-in number that my advisor should be calling into. Like, you made me come here in person. Why am I expecting that somebody's calling in?
Right.
Like, from my clinical site, it was like not expected. So we ended up getting through that, and we just recorded it, and I'm supposed to show it to her and like get some signatures. They weren't that concerned about that. But then the other thing is, she was like, okay, so your presentation should be about 20 to 30 minutes. And we don't really want to hear about your literature review and your theoretical framework. We just really want to hear about the project. And I'm like, This is 5 minutes before this fucking presentation. And you're now telling me what you want
What
to
you
hear
expect.
about in this presentation that I have worked on, that I've now rehearsed. It's an hour time slot. So I have a 40 to 45 minute presentation to leave some room for questions at the end. And it's very heavily focused on the literature review because that's what you made me focus a lot of the paper on, is you had to have such a strong literature review to prove the worth that it was evidence-based project that you're doing here. But it was like 5 minutes beforehand, you're changing everything up on me.
So how did it work out?
I did my presentation was, they were really excited about my project, really happy with my project. They were like, they thought it was like this fantastic thing, but I really had to change, like when I got to the spots in my presentation that were really heavily focused on literature review, I started jumping just points and skipping entire paragraphs that I had written down that were part of my speaking points, and just skipping major things to keep it within the time frame and to get to the stuff that they wanted. So
Oh wow.
I mean, I still pulled it off and I passed, so everything was good. Everything is
Okay. Well, that's all that matters, I guess. Well. So you won the war.
I won the war. I won the defense. You know, the best offense is a good defense, right? No, so I got a couple more things that I need to do, various minor things, and at some point by the end of the semester, I will be called doctor.
To be called doctor.
I'll be
Dr.
called
Nurse
doctor.
Jeff.
Yep,
Firefighter extraordinaire.
exactly. That's what I go by, actually, on my resume.
So will you be called Dr. Nurse?
I mean, I will have earned the title of Dr. Sano at after this semester's over.
There'll be
Yes.
2 Dr. Sanos then.
Oh God, that was the weirdest
just
thing. in the world.
died?
I jumped and I spread my elytra wings and I hit the ground, and then it rubber banded me all the way back to jumping off of the mountain, and I watched myself hit the ground again. It was just weird. Well, no, there will not be 2.
Wait, is Julia not a
Sanos.
doctor?
She is.
Did she not take your last name?
Nope.
Oh. How do you feel about that?
It doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. We had the reason why I asked, we had a conversation about that in my Discord a couple days ago. And so I was wondering.
Were people upset in your Discord about
No, not really.
people who don't?
It wasn't really much of a discussion.
No, in my
It was just like I'm the last of my people.
of you.
And so someone was saying that my daughter could keep my name. And I was like, I don't think most guys, like, I think I would have been a little bit hurt if Crystal hadn't taken my last name.
See, I don't.
Maybe that's different because I'm the last of me.
I didn't care about her taking it, but I cared that the baby had it.
So yeah, how did the conversation go?
That was a little bit more of a struggle, and the sad thing is, I haven't necessarily won the war yet either, because she has this idea in her mind that we should also potentially think about naming the next one the other name.
Huh.
And I'm like, that is absolutely not going to happen. Like, you do not have 2 children with 2 different last names from the same
That is
parent.
weird. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Yeah. I'm on your side. Oh, whoops.
But yeah, her not taking it, for one, she's been married before. There's no, like, not that matters, but I mean, we're older, and it doesn't seem as relevant to me. And for 2, she's already established, medical license and all that stuff. You know how pain in the ass it'd be to make sure you get all that stuff switched over? And I don't think it's worth it.
What about what if you hyphenated the names? Actually, that's kind of where I thought you were going to go with that. Whenever you were,
don't need it.
nah.
My sister did a very strange thing when she got married to her first. I mean, she's only been married once, but she's engaged again to somebody else now. But to her first husband, she took his last name, but hyphenated her middle name.
That's what Crystal did.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never actually heard about that before until my sister did it, and I was like, "That's interesting." She wanted to keep. I honestly think that she never thought I was going to get married and have kids and spread my seed, so she wanted to carry on the name. I think that she thought I was like an undesirable person who would never be loved. God, we are rubber banding terribly.
Yeah. I actually wasn't pulling that from what you said, Emily. That came from my own mind, and you just happened to say the same thing.
Emily, huh?
My memory's called Emily at the moment.
I call my memory Emily.
Refer to my brain as Emily. My brain identifies as a woman.
Oh God, it's so rubber bandy. I can't even attack things. This is so difficult. I wonder where Packrat is.
Somewhere awful.
It only started when he joined. He must be like super far away. Maybe he's flying?
Oh yeah.
I don't really know. I want to know how Brian got all this rail. Did he make a duper? Duper.
Don't no, they don't. I was gonna say don't witches drop iron, but they don't.
No, zombies do though.
Well, I was saying he had that witch farm he's always talking about. He really likes it. He's real proud of it.
I cannot kill this stupid. There we go. I want to go find the the end of this thing and use it.
The timing, I don't know, it reminded me of the night whenever you were coughing. But just the timing. I want to go find
It's going to kick out of people having medical issues, Guude. You'd be like a nurse or a doctor and be like, excuse me, sir, can you please stop coughing on me? I'm trying to do an assessment here.
Oh God! So, all right, you know what? I'm gonna tell you the next episode. Let's stop this here.
I just fell. I'm dead again.
Are you really?
Yeah, that was like.
Oh, there it is. Man, that took a long time. Where the hell did you fall
it rubber banded me yet again, but that was actually like I went to turn and I don't know. I zigged when I should have zagged and I fell right off the side of the wall. Like,
zigged when I should have zagged.
Yeah, that was completely like my stupidity.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you.